Hola guys and girls, and welcome to a new deck profile video for the Digimon TCG. And yeah, this is my first deck profile for the BT5 meta, and yes, I'm quite late to the party. BT6 is close to getting to us in Europe and most other countries. It's so far still October as release date. For North America it's confirmed to be delayed to November. So yeah, but I decided to share this deck because this is the deck I competed 2 days ago when I'm recording this in the Evo Cup, September Evo Cup, the European one, the one we had. And yeah, in the end I managed to get the 28th place out of 436 players, so I managed to get into the top 32. And yeah, total of 6 wins, 2 losses and 1 draw. The matchup in specific I will post in the comments down below, because this video is about the deck, not necessarily my journey through the tournament. But I mean, if you're interested in videos like this, of course let me know. But yeah, we are talking about LordKnightmon, definitely one of the top tier, if not the top tier deck of the season. Even though this this meta game is actually pretty balanced, so you see like every other deck winning here and there as well. But yeah, LordKnightmon definitely one of the more consistent ones, and yeah, mainly due to the fact that it's a pretty insane level 6, which just keeps getting stronger, and you can get Digimons for free out of there. And yeah, he's even strong in the opponent's turn, making it really hard to get rid of. And yeah, like I said, you can play even level 5 with this for free, and this can just lead to insane value. And yeah, the main weakness of the deck is like having LordKnight on board, and yeah, get some attacks off. Like sometimes you can only get 1 attack off, or you get stunned to death, or the opponent has an antibody. But either way, that's the strategy of the deck. Just Digivolve straight to your LordKnightmon in the raising area, and then keep attacking with him and flooding the board with all kinds of Digimon, which has all kinds of on-play effects, and just outvalue your opponent by, yeah, basically playing Digimon for free while chipping at the security as well. And yeah, controlling the board due to their on-play effects. But yeah, this LordKnightmon, let's start from the bottom, and let's start with the Tamer distribution there. And yeah, Tamer distribution is not that fancy as these my decks pre-standard. We start off with 4 Pigmon. Pigmon of course has the inherent effect. If you have 3 or more Digimon, it's pretty easy to handle in this deck. You can give on attacking -1000 to another Digimon for the turn, which in addition to other DP reduction effects can lead to some nasty removals, so we play 3 of them because, like I said, the 3 Digimon on board is pretty easy to manage. And then the 5th Tamer we have is the Koromon, which does help us with the strategy of reducing the opponent's DP as well, but for that we have to have 3 or fewer security cards, which yeah, needs a little bit more setup and more situational than the Pigmon, but definitely not that difficult to achieve either, because we do have some cards which help us reducing our own security. But yeah, these are the Tamers. Like I said, nothing too special there. Now I think the most interesting part of every LordKnightmon deck is the rookie lineup, because that's the place where you can play around the most, I feel like. But first get the standard rookies out of the way. Of course, we do play 4 times Starmon. Starmon is the one you definitely play 4 times in every variant, no doubt about that, because it has the on-play effect. For each Digimon you have play, one of your opponent Digimon gets -1000 for the turn. Like I already said, our strategy is to flood the board, so it's pretty easy to have like a lot of Digimon on the field, and then this can like lead to -4000, -5000, stuff like that. And yeah, it's pretty easy to like stack these effects to remove something big, or to just keep removing the smaller Digimon if the opponent has a wide board as well. So this is a no-brainer. You always want to play Starmons, because you can play them with the LordKnightmon for free and start removing the board. And the other one I think which is non-negotiable is the card which is pretty insane in every yellow deck, which is of course the Pulsemon. Like I said, we do want rookies and stuff like on-play effects, and of course Pulsemon has a great on-play effect, because it says if you have 3 or more security cards, draw 1, and if you have 3 or fewer security cards, gain 1 memory. So as probably you know, if you have exactly 3 security cards, both effects trigger, you get the draw, you get the draw and a memory, and yeah, all of that for free if you manage to play him with the LordKnightmon. So it's pretty similar in that regard to what the Greymon deck used to do with the Angevomon, but a little bit more consistent, because you don't need less security for that. But yeah, Pulsemon, I think these 8 probably in every deck, probably 4 times if you have them, so non-negotiable there. Now we get to the more interesting part, and I do play a total of 15 or 16 rookies to be fair in this deck. But yeah, so it's a lot of rookies, but that's because in this deck you don't want to run out of rookies. You always want to have one of them to have to play for free for LordKnightmon. You rarely want, I mean you never want to attack with LordKnightmon without playing something for free. So yeah, that's why I have a lot of rookies in the deck. Another one I have is actually the only rookie I have without an on-play effect, which is the Patamon. Patamon from the starter deck, 3 of them in total for the nice inheritable effect. As you can see, When opponent's Digimon delete by dropping to 0 DP, gain 1 memory. So like I already mentioned, due to all the dropping DP effects we have in the deck, it's very easy to enable that and gain additional memory. And yeah, he is your prime choice to have for your LordKnightmon, because obviously you want to have the inheritable effect. But it's nice to have under blocker or something like that as well. And yeah, he's, like I said, the only rookie which doesn't have an on-play effect in this deck. And yeah, then another one we have for 2 times is the Kotemon. Depending on the deck, you see more or less of these. Of course, he is the tutor card for LordKnightmon decks. With the effect, reveal the top card sides of your deck, add up to 2 yellow Digimon with Warrior and or Holy Warrior in the type among them to your hand. Place your remaining cards in the bottom of your deck in any order. Sadly, he himself is a Reptile, he's not a Warrior, so the only cards in our deck we can choose for that are the Knightmons and LordKnightmons, but still, having a tutor for that, because LordKnightmon is very important, Knightmon is good as well, but not as important as LordKnight, of course. Having tutor for that is important, but like I said, since we don't play that many of those, there are like a total of 8 cards of that in total, I think it's overkill to put more Kotemon in the deck. That only makes sense if you have like more Gladimon, stuff like that in the deck as well, where you can actually have more hits you can potentially get with the Kotemon. But another draw engine I like in the deck is the Lopmon. Lopmon is a great card, rather late addition to the deck, which of course has the on-play effect. You can look at the top card of the security. Let's see, focus camera, there we go. Look at the top card of security, you may add the card to the hand to trigger draw a card from your deck. So you do get 2 cards into your hand. Of course you do lose from 1 security process, but with some cards, like for example the Pulsemon and other we will see later, we actually want to lose our security, and that's why I add this card to the deck. It's just straight up draw, it's not specific draw like for Kotemon. And yeah, just helps us overall keep filling up our hand, keep getting these cards which you can play for free later on. And yeah, like I said, this is a pretty late addition to the deck. Before I had Bushy Agumon there if you want to be more aggressive. Like you can see from the lineup already, I'm a more, like I said, more control variant of LordKnightmon, even though LordKnightmon is not a control deck, but I do have more control tools in there than aggro tools. And then the last rookie I have in the deck is one Lucemon. Of course, this is there to one play effect to recovery one. You get to play that for free as well. It's a 10,000 DP Digimon, which can attack and is pretty strong. It gets a free recovery. That's why I have one Lucemon in the deck. But I do like only having 1 or maybe 2 Lucemon in the deck, because this, of course, these all rookies, like having more rookies of those helps you not brick, because you most likely will have a rookie in starting hand with that many. Lucemon is a rookie which doesn't help with that, since you can't put them on your Tama and stuff like that. But yeah, that's my rookie lineup. Like I said, this is probably what you can play around the most in the deck. You can put more Kotemon, more Lopesmon, more Patamon. You can put in the 2-cost Salamon. You can put the Recovery Salamon. You can put Bushy Agumon if you want to be more aggressive. There's a lot of stuff to play around, and there you can basically choose to your liking what do you think is best for you. This is the variant I decided to go with, and yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with the results. Like I said, with the 6-2-1 record. Don't think I'd make many mistakes, and there was never really a case where I thought I lost because my deck was, like something was missing in the deck. So yeah, now to the champion lineup. Since we do have that many rookies, we have to cut corners somewhere from my standard ratio of cards. That's why I only play 11 level 4 Digimon instead of my usual 12. And yeah, 4 of those are of course the Pidomon. Since our goal is to get to LordKnightmon, we want to get to this level 6 as fast as possible. The 1-cost evolution card is pretty great and is a blocker. Since you do get a lot of rookies on the field due to their play effects, you want to play them hard, or you get them through LordKnightmon. They're easy targets to just put a blocker on to get additional value out of them, barring their on play effect, because the blockers on the field, of course, hold the opponent, give you more time, and yeah, just blockers are great. You always want to have blockers in your deck. And Pidomon, of course, the 1-cost blocker on yellow, you want to play 4 of those. And then similar to Pidomon for similar reasons, but not being a blocker, of course, we want to play 4 Terurimon. Once again, it's the 1-cost evolution card, just there to use the rookies for cheap to get additional draws and some more DP going, and of course to get to LordKnightmon as fast as possible. And last but not least, we have another 3 cards in the deck, which are 3 more Unimon. Sometimes you see Gladimon there, you see other level 4s there. I like the additional blockers for the reason I already mentioned, with that you have a lot of rookies on the field most of the time with the deck. And yeah, so it's pretty easy to evolve them into a blocker to get some additional value out of them, and yeah, just halt the opponent. Maybe your first LordKnightmon got removed, and then you need to buy some time to get to your second one, stuff like that. Blockers just enable all of that, and yeah, that's Unimon for you. Like I said, not too much to talk about there. The only real other level 4 you see there is most of the times Gladimon. Other level 4s are most likely not late in the deck. But yeah, since I don't have Gladimons in the deck anymore, I did reduce the Kotemons as well. So now for the level 5s, of course, one card you will have to play, because there's no question about that, is 4 times the Knightmon, which of course is the card, since it is a warrior. You can look that out with the Kotomon, and most importantly, you can play it for free with LordKnightmon. So you get a free level 5, which on play effect, if camera gets focused, if your opponent, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn, so more DP reduction on play. And just having a free level 5 on the field opens up so many possibilities. It's just another target. Like, let's say your LordKnightmon gets removed, you have a Knightmon already in the field, you can put another LordKnightmon there, and yeah, pretty easy to go from there. There's of course the main level 5, but you don't really want to use it to evolve into your LordKnightmon, you want to use it to play for free. Sometimes you have to, no doubt about that, but the real Digimon we want to use to get to our LordKnightmon are the other 2 we have in the deck, and we have 2 times 2 off, so a total of 8 level 5s. That's where some people like to play 9, and I do play 2 Vorgrolmon for 1 for more DP reduction, with the, of course, the nice effect of the Digiburst, that you can give Digiburst 2 and reduce DP by 4k if it focused. There we can see Digiburst, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4000 TP for the turn. You can first, like let's say you have a Vorgrolmon, your raising area, you raise it, you Digiburst minus 4000 for something, then you evolve into LordKnightmon, you attack, boom, you play Knightmon, that's minus 8000, then maybe if Pigmon is another 1000 minus, and like you can already see, you can stack these effects up to remove something big, or of course remove a lot of little things on the field. You're very, very versatile in that regard with all these smaller DP reductions on the field. And then for some more, Swarm, we of course play 2 times the Angewomon, which you already saw in the Yellow LordKnightmin Deck, which has the very nice inheritable effect that if you have 3 or fewer security cards, you may play 1 yellow level 3 Digimon card from your hand without paying its memory cost. So this just helps with the Swarm strategy. It doesn't bring Knightmon out, but all of the rookies we already showed you, you can put additional out with Angewomon. So 1 attack with LordKnightmon with an Angewomon under that, with 3 or less security, just leads to 2 free Digimon, which can be pretty insane. And yeah, like I said, this is one of the reasons why we want to have the LordMons in deck as well. You can first use the LordMon, for example, to play with LordKnightmons when attacking effect, and then you have 3 or less security after the on-play effect of LordMon, and then Angewomon triggers, and you can play another rookie with that. Like I said, all these shenanigans are pretty fun. Like I said, once LordKnightmon attacks, a lot of things resolve, so turns can get long. But yeah, these are my level 8s there. Nothing too fancy. Like I said, some people like to play 3 Vorgrolmon or 3 Angewomon. These are standard, you always play 4 of those, but this ratio of these 2 you can play around a bit. I saw some decks with like a 2 cost, like Cyremon, something like that as well, but not as often. Like I said, these are the more standard things you see. Then for the level 6 lineup, of course, we already talked about the 4 times LordKnightmon. This is the linchpin of the deck. You always want to have this. I already talked at length what this thing does and why it's so good. So let's just skip over that and talk about the other level 6 we have in the deck. And we have 3 times the /Angemon. Sometimes some people want to play the Magnadramon there for additional Swarm, or Centaurusmon for the nice Digibuff effect. I just love the /Angemon. Like I said, I take a more controlly approach with my LordKnightmon, I want to say. Because if you get your Knightmon for free with the LordKnightmon attack, you already get minus 4000 on Digimon, then you evolve that into a /Angemon to pass over the turn, and boom, you get something another minus 8000, and that leads to, of course, 12k, which is the benchmark to remove a lot of Digimon level 6 Digimon better set in the metagame. So it's just very easy removal, and you have another level 6 there, which can just be a target for one of our level 7 Digimon, which we will talk about next, because /Angemon, like I said, we have a lot of DP reduction, but you do have the Katamons to gain memory, you do have the Starmons to DP reduct even more. Like I said, you swarm the board while keeping the opponent's board low. That's the reason this deck is so strong. And we do play a total of 3 Chaosmon. Like every deck, of course, has some Chaosmon. Some people like only 1, some people like only 2. I like 3 of them. Because like I already said, to remove something big, you kind of need to stack these effects. And that's not going to be always the case that you have like all these cards in hand you can to reduce the DP. So having a Chaosmon which just reduces the DP by 14k potentially if you choose the same Digimon is just pretty insane. Just makes it able to remove everything. I had some crazy board wipes with like Knightmon into /Angemon into Chaosmon, and just board wipe the opponent with, like, even though he had pretty strong Digimons there. And yeah, if he dies, of course, you get free memories, so pretty nice level 6 Digimon there. Most of the times you want to put it on /Angemon, but of course sometimes you are forced to evolve over your LordKnightmon, even though you don't necessarily want to do that. But yeah, you still have the option for that. But yeah, that's Chaosmon for you. Now for the option cards, you only play 2 there. Some people like to play Spiral Masquerade. I decided to just go with 2 Blinding Rays. Like I said, more option to remove your security cards for the Enjavomon or the Pulsemon potentially. And of course it gets you 2 additional memory, because if you don't have a Tamer on board, you do need the free memory to get to your LordKnightmon and attack in the same turn. Of course with Blinding Ray you got that enabled right away, so having 2 of them is of course nice. More of them is a bit overkill. I think 2 is definitely what you should go there. Like I said, you can maybe cut a Chaosmon, cut a Rookie and put 2 Spider Masquerades in there or something like that. But yeah, I think with all the, like I said, all my Digimon have like these DP reduction effects. I don't necessarily need an option card which does that as well, since, like I said, I want to swarm the board while controlling the board. Option card, of course, doesn't give me another Digimon on the board. So yeah, this Blinding Ray for you. Then, of course, last but definitely not least, we do have our Tamers, and we do have 3 times TK, probably the best Tamer in the game. Let's see, look at the security cards. If you play them early, you can choose from up to 5 cards and take what you need. Barring the Chaosmon, all of our cards are of course yellow, so you will always get the recovery effect going, and he makes sure that you always have the free memory at the beginning of the turn to, for example, get into your LordKnightmon and attack on the same turn to get the value out of that, which is of course very important. But yeah, that's my deck in total. There's 60 cards. The link for the whole deck list will be in the description as well. But yeah, like I said, LordKnightmon's still a deck which is going to be relevant in BT6, of course. It gets stronger with some other cards there, so every card you get here from BT5 for your LordKnightmon deck is still going to be relevant when the next meta drops, so I think it's still a pretty strong deck. I definitely will still be playing around with that, but yeah, that's all from me. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, of course, leave a like, comment, subscribe, you know the deal. Hit me up on Twitter and Facebook, all the links in the description, and I will see you another time. Ciao!